Hello. We are back again to talk a little bit about episode 3 of the Creator Series. I'm Lisa from Lisa Jones Photography. This is Karen from Karen Nicole Photography. And we finally, oh my gosh, it feels amazing out here today.
It feels fantastic.
The weather is perfection.
Starting to go to fall, just a hair.
You can feel it in the air.
Yep.
We've had this whole summer in Alabama. It's been brutal.
Like Hades. It's times 3.
Almost drought situation, unbearable heat. So.
I literally have always said that I had a deal with God. As long as I didn't feel the freezing temperatures, give me all the heat. I think this year I kind of went back on my end of the deal. It got me this year. It's freaking hot. Holy moly.
It's been brutal, but today is...
Yeah, it's good stuff.
This is pretty close to perfection. So
I'll take this all year round. Yeah.
We decided to just sit outside and soak in a little sunshine.
It's nice. Yeah. It's not as humid even. It's kind of, which is odd in Alabama, but yeah, it's kind of nice. Yep. So we have lots to talk about, Miss Jones. Yeah. I'm excited about this one a little bit. Although there's a few things in there that maybe I don't know.
This one was brutal to watch.
Yeah.
to watch. This one was.
Maybe that's the part I'm excited to talk about. Let you wiggle.
I don't think any of us were excited about watching this one back. It was hard to watch.
Yeah. Okay, so then let's unpeel that a little bit. So what if, first of all, composition was the challenge.
That was the challenge, yeah.
Which to me can be very, very broad. That's, I mean, all art is. So obviously photography is. Everything is very subjective. But at the same time, that's a very broad subject because there's so many things that can lead to a good, bad, indifferent composition. Every picture ever taken has to have some kind of composition to it. So there was no specific
composition. And for those of you not
description.
maybe, for someone not in
this world,
the photography world, art world, that might even go that maybe don't understand what composition is.
Yeah, because you look at the finished images, nothing had a defining. Oh, well, that was the challenge.
Right. So composition is anything within an image, and again, this could be photography, it could be art, that leads the viewer's eye where the maker wants you to look. So as a photographer, I am the maker of every image that I create. And so I can use composition to lead the viewer's eye to what I want you to look at. And so there's a lot of different ways to do that. And there are a lot of rules of composition. And the rules of composition mainly apply to if you follow these rules, the image is more aesthetically pleasing to look at. However, there is also plenty of reasons to break those rules, and sometimes the maker will break the rule to help tell the story of the image, or to even make the viewer feel uncomfortable.
Tension it can be a very good thing, really. Yes. Some of the best images that I think I've seen come from IPC, and just all these different places are things that just kind of make you squirm a little bit.
Just a little uncomfortable, a little maybe question, or so. Yes, composition, and again, with every challenge, is open to our interpretation.
Right.
But composition is extremely broad. It can be a lot of different things, and
you have a lot of different ways to use it. I mean, it can be granted, obviously the way you're taking the picture and the way that it is composed on the screen, but your lighting, your wardrobe, your location, your everything goes into a whole
of how
pot
you compose
of,
that
yes,
image.
yeah, you gotta figure it all out of how you're gonna see whatever it is that you're given. Well, you guys have 10 minutes to do that.
Right.
That's-
So again, I know I've said this before, and I think it bears repeating. 10 minutes is not a lot of time, especially when you're under pressure. And for this challenge, I was up first. And
Yeah.
so I learned firsthand.
That was the thing I wanted to talk about today.
Yeah, it's. I think in the very beginning, I thought, well, first was good because you can get it over with.
Yeah. Not so much.
I learned really quick, you don't want to go first because when you go first, you have zero time. It's like you're introduced. Here's the challenge. Meet your model. Go. So you don't have any time to kind of think and go over in your head what you want to do. If you're not first, then everybody else, it's like the further you are from being first,
the more time you have to think about it.
To
plan at
least.
least.
Think and plan.
Yeah.
So first is really not any fun.
I can't see where it would be.
No.
Although it looked like you were kind of excited at one point that, I feel like I feel like you executed what your idea was. You said Old Hollywood and bam, there it was. I feel like you pulled that off. You did.
And again, I stay true to executing the challenge in a way that was me. That was my style, the way I would have done it for a client.
I do have to applaud you on every one of those. Like you haven't been trying to please the judges or please a certain aesthetic or whatever. It was you.
And that's
very true to your work.
Goodbye, bad or otherwise. That was the goal that I had personally.
Check mark, you achieved that.
That I feel like I met.
So far, I don't know what she did next week.
Yeah.
Hadn't seen that one yet. We'll see.
But this was a harder challenge. I think for all of us it was. Yeah. There were some issues once we got ready once we were given our cards.
Oh, really? Okay.
My computer would not read my card.
What?
And so I'm sitting there.
Freak out moment.
Watching the time tick, trying not to freak out.
Oh my gosh.
Because I couldn't get the images.
Yeah, that's a big deal when you're being timed. Holy moly, because 30 minutes is not long.
It's not. And so I kept taking it out and putting it back in, taking it out and putting it out. Well, and then the whole time I was dealing with this, I had Jess sitting next to me, and her Photoshop was completely frozen, like she was hosed.
Oh my gosh.
She was absolutely hosed.
Oh, wow.
So she had started working on her image, Photoshop froze.
Bless her heart. Holy
and
moly.
So if you go back, if you haven't watched, or if you do go back and watch.
If you haven't watched, we've already talked about this. You should not be here right now.
But when you look at Jess's image, like she submitted an incomplete image because her software froze up.
That wasn't talked about, I don't think, was it? Was that said? Did I miss that?
No,
okay,
it
just checking to
so
see if I missed
I'm
it. Okay.
saying it, Jess, I love you, girl.
We're giving you an Alabama bless your heart.
Yes. and the whole time, like, I'm sitting there trying not to freak out, and Jess is
freaking out.
And every one of us only has, we're all just doing what we can to work. And in the top of my head, I wanted to look at Jess and go, oh, bless your heart, like you would.
But you can't. You don't even have time to, think about that.
Like
you have to
can't.
stay focused on whether it's a problem or good. You have to stay in your lane, I guess.
So I finally,
it's tough stuff.
Finally got my images pulled. And at that point, again, I'm trying not to panic because I know I've just used up a good bit of my time. And I literally, I didn't even have time to look through all the images. I'm like, just pick one. Just pick one.
Oh, wow.
Going back now and looking through my images, I had...
Would you have chosen a different one, you think?
I had at least 4 other images that were...
Oh, man.
way better than the one that I chose.
That you picked. But you were under the gun. So
but it
is what it is.
It is what it is. And, in the end...
I mean, it got you through. Spoiler alert, sorry.
I made it in the end. I made it through.
Yep.
So I am in the final 5. I get to live for one more
At least one more week. Yep, that's right. Woohoo!
And so, again, in the end, it didn't matter.
Right.
I made it through. I might have barely made it through. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
But
really.
You checked the box and got through.
Yeah.
That was the important
and
thing, I guess.
I think that one of the exciting parts was at the end, we're halfway, we've gone from 10 to 5. We started with 7 guys and only 3 women.
And so far you're still 3 women in. Okay, I heard that at the end and I never really connected. You're right, there was only 3 women.
And
nice job, ladies.
3 women, and so
good deal.
We've got all 3 women in the final 5. But also in the first 3 challenges, the women have won.
That's right.
Every challenge.
Oh, that's right. Feeling pretty good about being a girl at this point, huh?
So we were,
That's great.
So we didn't realize it
awesome.
until the end, and we kind of looked at each other and went,
hey, wait.
oh my gosh, the girls are still in it.
That's awesome. In a very male-dominated industry, by the way. Honestly. Not only in this competition where there are more guys, but in our whole industry, it's been very male-dominated for a long time.
It's not as much now.
Yeah, not as much now since the 2010s-ish.
But for
2008,
years,
2009,
it's always been an extremely male-dominated industry.
Yeah, I think that has turned quite a bit now.
I still feel like and I don't even know if this list exists in our industry. I feel like if there were a list of the top earners in this industry, I still feel like that would be a very male-dominated.
Yeah, you're probably right.
List, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
We never see each other's tax returns, so who knows?
But I'm very proud.
You ought to be.
Of the ladies.
Yeah, that's awesome. Way to go, girls.
Yeah, we've hung in there.
Nice. That's good.
Made it to the top 5. So
I heard her. I think it was Jess. Maybe it was Bethany. I don't know. At the end, somebody said something about the girls, and it still didn't dawn on me that there was, at that point I was like, oh yeah, yay girls. But it didn't dawn on me that the first 3 that had gone, in the first, wasn't it 3 in the first episode? It was 3, right? Yeah.
We're all guys,
it didn't dawn on me that they were all guys. Yeah. Until now. Awesome.
So far,
yeah,
we've sent the guys home, and not to this. Again, we're and Ning said it last night when he was leaving. He's like, look,
we're all friends. I heard him say that.
We're all friends.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We are we're just we were cheering each other on from the beginning. We're still doing it.
That's awesome.
We probably communicate in some form every day.
Oh, that's awesome.
We've got our little group going.
Oh, that's good.
So
especially being the first crew to.
Yeah,
go through
there's a
this.
lot of support there. We're learning from each other,
That's awesome.
supporting each other, encouraging each other, and whatever the endeavor is, not just this. So
Yeah.
that's been a very, very positive experience, and was never any like real
It was more like friendly competition
Yeah.
over like they gotta go home. Yeah, none of that.
and it never was a guys against girls thing. It was just that realization at that moment of going,
Hey.
oh my gosh, like we're all still here.
Look at that.
Like,
We're
we
doing
kind
it.
of started in the minority here. We're all
doing pretty good.
we're all still here. So
That's awesome. That's
so
pretty cool.
That was fun. And I have not had a chance to listen to the podcast.
Yeah, I haven't either. I listened to
week.
the other, but I didn't. This
I'm
week I haven't listened to it yet.
been on major overload with
Same.
work, and
Yeah.
just didn't have time. I had some deadlines, stuff that had to get in, and
Yeah, you just gotta do what you gotta do.
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Absolutely, it
I
is a
will.
business in the end.
Yeah.
This was fun, but but it is a
Um,
business. Yeah, you gotta run that thing for sure.
I think the only last week I did, and it's the first time I had done this. I went back to the videos and the podcast and started reading through comments, which
Has that been a good thing or a bad thing? I haven't looked at any of those. Typically, that's not a good thing.
it can be, but
Sometimes.
I would say a vast majority of comments have been very positive,
Okay, good.
very good,
Good.
which was exciting to see that people were actually excited to watch and
Yeah.
Has some good things to say. But there's always a troll in every.
Oh, of course.
It's
Always.
just to be expected.
Haters gonna hate.
And so I think, and it wasn't even anything like, I don't even think it was towards anyone personally.
I was just like an in general type thing.
But it just going through and reading, a few comments was just a reminder that anytime you do something like this, you do very much have to develop a bit of a thick skin.
Oh yeah. I can only imagine.
Because of some of the comments, the trolls that are out there, but then also even the image critiques. Like you really, you gotta.
Yeah, I noticed like nobody's really saying anything, but what they're critiquing so far, pretty much agree with most of it. Although
Yeah.
I think there was a part this week where like I'm not gonna say any like particular things or whatever, but I don't necessarily maybe agree with one part of it.
Yeah.
We can talk about that later, but but I felt like one image was very strong in what they asked for, and it didn't seem like it got the attention that maybe it deserved.
Yeah.
I'll say that. That's as far as I'll go with that. But
And that's
anyway,
fair, and we know again.
but it's so subjective.
Yeah.
My opinion doesn't matter at
I
all.
think we've talked a
you know?
little bit about that. Whether you're doing competition or anything where there's a judging element, it is subjective. However, there are specific elements that either you get them right or you get them wrong, and I messed up big time on one of those elements.
Let's talk about those ankles. Yeah.
Let's just cut her feet off.
I know. And I know you. I know your work. I know. And when it popped, I went, oh no, she chopped the ankles. Oh no. She's never done that. Ever.
I've never cut.
We always look at those things, yeah.
So, but it goes back to just the
Pressure.
The pressure, and you get absolute tunnel vision.
Oh, I
that
bet.
there are things that are so stinking obvious, like in your face, that you absolutely don't see. Like
Just
I
don't know it's there. Yeah.
You know, when I was called out on it, I literally, as I stood there, I looked over at the image, and then I looked down at her feet, and in my head, I'm thinking, like, how did that even happen?
Yeah.
And I don't even think I heard anything they said after that, because
I bet
couldn't.
you were so focused on.
No, I couldn't
what
get
in the
past
world?
the fact of, like, how in the world
Yep.
did that happen?
Yeah, that's like almost one of those 101 type things that you know this.
That is photography.
Like 001.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But
so, you know, we can
10 minutes to shoot, 30 minutes to edit. Well, cull and then edit. Honestly.
And then have computer problems.
Right.
And then have the person next to you having software problems.
Yeah.
So this was a tough one for all of us, but, you know, thankfully, you know, we get past it and can look back and just kind of laugh at it and go, you know.
Yep, dadgummit. That's what we would say. Dadgummit.
Dadgummit.
We're throwing y'all all the Southern you can possibly handle today.
Shoot a dog. I can't believe I did that.
Good, grannies. What else could I think of? I'll be dipped. We had a bunch of them. This was the episode
gravy and biscuits.
Yeah.
How did that happen, Virgin?
Oh, I love it. We got a ton of these. Maybe we just need to do an episode of all of our Southern sayings that just pop out from time to time. I think we'll have some more subjects to add to our list, don't we? Oh, that could be so good. I have ideas running through my head right now. Okay, all right, we got to talk about that too.
I love the South.
Oh my gosh.
You know, you have to own your own level of redneckedness.
And we all have it.
And you know.
I mean, it just is.
It is what it is. And,
that's right.
Yeah.
At least we can laugh about it. That's right. Just like this
ashamed at all.
episode, there's so many things that we just have to own up to. Right?
So many things I could be ashamed of right now with that.
Right. But you
I
got
really wanted to crawl under a rock.
I bet you did. Oh man.
But and I am going to I'm going to take her image and I'm going to crop it correctly before I post it. So, you know, if you're looking for those missing feet, I'm going to fix that.
Sorry, you'll never find that.
But I also want to pull one that I like better.
Oh, yeah.
And retouch it. And if for
Good
no
idea.
other reason, like I want the model to have the best image that I can give her. Because we do post these and send them, you know, to the models as well. And so I don't ever want to give anybody a subpar image.
I totally agree with that. Absolutely. Never want that, especially when it's your job.
And you didn't do it like you should have.
Yeah, you know, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's still a beautiful image, and you did a fantastic job on the composition, I believe. I feel like you put the eye right where it was supposed to be, and that's the whole point of composition. So good job. Yeah,
well,
good job. I'm excited you have moved on to next week. At least one more. We'll see what happens after that. So she still won't tell me anything. So we'll kind of see what happens, but I'm excited about it.
And in the meantime, we're going to start making our Southern slang list.
That might, that's got to come soon.
We've got, we'll be back next week. But I think also even like moving beyond this series, I think what we have discovered here is we've got a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah, we kind of like this.
Like even beyond outside of the realm of photography, we have a lot of things to talk about. So.
Yeah, we do. We got quite the list started, y'all. You might not be quite ready for what we got for you. We'll see.
we will see where this goes. But in the meantime, for those of you watching, and I've had several people say that they're watching us and not watching.
I know. That's so funny. They're just like, just let them tell us what happened. They just want the Cliff Notes version. Although with us, it's not really Cliff Notes because we're probably lasting about as long as a real episode.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll be back next week, and so for anybody that is watching, thank you. We hope you're.
Thanks for being here.
We're offering some tiny bit of entertainment.
Yeah, it's probably not on purpose. We're trying at least.
Yeah, so we'll watch. If you haven't, watch next Monday. And we'll see you
back
next week.
Some point next week. Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Maybe we'll come up with a exciting little venue or something. I don't know.
Ooh, yeah, new place. Stay tuned.
We'll think about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's been nice being in your backyard today. So I love it. It's very, very pretty. I've always loved her backyard, and so this was a great place to do it when the weather's nice to us. So, all right, you guys, I guess we're going to cut it from here. So we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.